Awesome, man. So Quinn, first of all, I mean, for the people listening, watching this later, thank you, Quinn, for your patience in the tech rehearsal, whatever you want to call it. I really appreciate that. Um, but we're
Of
live, and it's
course.
awesome to have you here, man. I really appreciate taking time, and you being in Alaska, I'm being in Leeds, you have some time difference. Um, but it will
Yeah.
be all right. It will be a pleasure talking to you. Uh, and actually, researching about you, like listening to your music, I just saw your Tiny Desk show, like the one you did after you won the competition, I believe. And it was really, really awesome, man.
Yeah.
Uh, really
Thank you.
intimate set. So what was that experience like submitting a song, winning the competition, playing
Mm.
at that set, like I could call it legendary set maybe, but what was that experience like?
It was so legendary. Yeah. I mean, it's really amazing to know like all of your favorite artists and big inspirations played the same place, and it was beautiful. But I feel like the tiny desk, the acoustic style or just minimal set is like what I was raised on in Alaska and Anchorage. Our music scene here is, I feel like I came up with them in like a really honest and vulnerable and like listening style scene here. And I feel like that just kind of like prepared me or like taught me really how to like play in that way.
Hmm.
And so that's how I entered the contest, was with that song Erase Me, just guitar and vocal. And how we played the desk is that's how I was playing every show,
Right.
you know, back then. And so it all just felt like home. And yeah, I'm grateful to kind of come from that scene here.
Hmm. Definitely. I mean, I saw on your website, and I'm gonna pronounce this super bad and super wrong, so excuse me. But it says like you're an Athabascan, and the other word I wish I could pronounce, but
Yes, I'm a Nupiat
yeah,
and
yeah, exactly.
Sebastian.
So
Hmm.
what is that? Is that a particular music style, or is it the way you were, like you mentioned now, like brought up? What does that mean?
It's a type of people. I am Alaska Native, and so indigenous people. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So that's just me. That's where I come from.
Right. And what does it mean to be a songwriter in that style? And if I understood it correctly, maybe I
Mm.
didn't.
Yeah. So we've been making music since like I have to say time immemorial. Like it's so far back.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's just something that like my family has always had around, and my great grandfather was a violin maker,
Cool.
woodworker, and my grandma would tell us stories about them just having music nights every night, and um, I think that's just something that trickled down
Hmm.
music.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But so going back to the competition, and so you submitted the song. I mean, did it take long before they came back to you? What was the that whole process like? Was it just submitting it and hoping for the best?
I think it did take a while. Yeah, I think you submitted it, and it wasn't until like maybe months later that I heard anything, and then the day I found out, they were like, "You can't tell anyone until a week," and so they said I could tell one person in that
Okay.
in that week,
Who was that then?
and
Who did you tell?
that was my dad.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, but like that was hard. I was like bursting at the seams.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, why did they tell you can only tell one person? That's so unlikely, really. I mean,
I know. I'm like, come on now.
but what did your dad say then?
He was over the moon. He was like, okay, where are they playing? Yeah, where are you playing? I'll be there. He showed up in Seattle and Portland on the tour, and yeah, he loved it.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you got to share that experience with him.
Yeah, for sure.
But so, how influential was your dad in your like music journey, songwriting life?
Huge. He got me my first instrument when I was 20, so I guess a little late. I didn't start playing an instrument until later, but I was writing poems, and song type things way before that. And so, like, once I got an instrument, it was like the gateway that I needed, to put this like emotion into song. And I don't know, everyone starts playing and singing, sounding kind of crazy. And I remember, like, finding my way. But my dad, he was just like very proud of whatever I did. And I think that definitely, well, I look back and I know that kind of kept me going,
Hmm.
from the start. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't give up.
Yeah, definitely. But so, what's the scene in Alaska then? Like, is there a huge scene like where we can go and like get exposure, like get the gigs going? What's the vibe?
Um, yeah, I think coming up in the Anchorage, Alaskan music scene does come with some unique challenges because we are landlocked here. Like, and that's a huge thing for like indie artists here is we can't just go on tour, can't just get in a van and go on tour. And like it becomes this, thing that holds you back, I guess. But that's just trying to get out of this place. I think, like I was saying earlier, like the music scene here is so um like honest and just kind of like there to be a listening show. They're not gonna like talk through your set or your song, or you know like I've played so many shows unplugged, no mic, anything, and you can hear a pin drop in the audience
Right.
because it's like, I don't know, they love that here.
Hmm.
And that, in that way, taught me to play in a specific way. And like um and just knowing that one person and one instrument is enough, because I think a lot of times we start to feel like, oh, we need more, we need a band, or I have to be doing more, and for people to pay attention. And like I never felt that way. And
Hmm.
so I think that has a lot to do with this music scene I'm from.
Right. I mean, you can tell that in that Tiny Desk show. Like, you're really good at that um, thing or how you present your music.
Yeah,
You can tell you're really good at that because people get drawn in. You know.
thank you. Yeah, I love performing. I
Mm.
think it's so, I don't know, it's so fun, and it's like a huge part of why I write songs and stuff. I love to perform them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. But who's the guy
Mm.
you play with in that Tiny Desk show? Is that do you play with him regularly, or who is he?
Yeah, that's my friend Nick Carpenter. He's amazing. He's definitely plays every show that he can with me, and yeah, he plays guitar and keys and bass and sings with me. And he's just, yeah, he does a little bit of everything.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, you guys did a great job. There was a song, I don't know the names of the song really, but there was a really nice arrangement where you played like a chord, he played another chord, so it was like this back and forth. It was really awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. he's taught me a lot about music and instrumentation and kind of like the production of, playing songs live. And yeah,
Mm.
I think a lot of the songs, you know, came that way, how we kind of practiced them together and from his influence. And so I'm really grateful to have someone like him around to work with my songs.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I also heard some of your newer stuff that's coming out, or maybe it is out already. Um, but are you still like embracing that minimal approach? Because I remember that was a bit more instrumentation to
Mm.
those newer tracks, right?
Yes, more instrumentation, definitely production. I went to London
Hmm.
to make um, my EP that's coming out December 10th. It's called I Am Bubblegum, and uh, I'm super excited for it. There is more production, and I think that comes from, my performances till now have been so scaled back and minimal that I really wanted my recorded work to be, something of its own, something that you can't get live because, my live show is the live show.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, I kind of chased that with the producer I worked with, Bullion, and it was amazing. I can't wait for you all to hear the rest of it. 2 songs are already out now, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely, man. I really look forward to it. But so, what was the experience in London then? I mean, flying in from Alaska, record here. How long did you stay?
I stayed like 2.5 months.
Wow, not bad.
Yeah, I
Was it during the
felt like a
pandemic or before?
yeah, it
Right.
was. I felt like a whole local by the time I left. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
yeah, I, it was very cool. It was during the pandemic, so I didn't get to do like much traveling around or anything, but I was in the studio, 5 days a week. So
Yeah, yeah.
um, I was busy doing that, but it was it was a dream come true. I'd never done anything like that before.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, and the Airbnb I stayed at had a dog. So honestly, it couldn't have gotten any better.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. What sort of dog was it?
It was a whippet, like a really
Right.
cute one.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Actually, my favorite
Yeah.
dog is the golden retriever. I don't have one, but
Wow.
hopefully in the future.
Classic.
Yeah, maybe it's boring.
Like the first dog.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I also love like the Saint Bernard. Those are much bigger dogs, obviously, but they're also cute, man.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love those.
yeah,
I love all dogs.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're fun, man.
Yeah.
Before they grow up, I guess. Then, or maybe even puppets are really hard. But yeah, it's always hard. Uh,
Yeah.
but so, how the hell did you get into the country with it being a pandemic? I mean, was that
Uh,
tricky, or you just took a
I
flight?
I flew and I had my vaccine and everything,
Right, right,
and I just had to quarantine when I get there.
right, right,
So
right.
yeah, I stayed somewhere like until I got all my negative tests, and um, then I was able to be a Londoner.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you coming back here on tour in Europe?
I I don't have anything in the books right now because I had a Europe tour planned right before COVID,
Right,
and so
right.
it got rescheduled. So we'll see. Hopefully, I definitely want to come back.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think there's a. I mean, especially in London, there's definitely an audience that would love your music. I'm sure of that.
Thank
It
you.
would fit right in. Um, so it would be really nice if you can come over. But so talking about the music, also you talked about your dad growing up in Alaska and the influence that had on you. Um, are there any other things like particular bands, artists that also like influence your music?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't think like in a huge way. There's not that I can't think of any, but I'm really influenced by the people around me and just like mostly just people who I interact with
Hmm.
and stuff like that.
Awesome, man.
So yeah.
That's cool. Very organic approach.
Sorry, that's not a good answer.
Well, that's fine. That's not bad or wrong answer. It's just an answer, I guess. Um, but so I mean, how the hell, like you said, like Alaska. I mean, excuse my my little knowledge about Alaska. I love to go to Alaska, by the way. But so is it? Why is it hard to get to Alaska? Then can you just drive through Canada and down, or that's not how it works, or is it more
You
complicated?
could, you
Right.
totally could. Yeah. Yeah, you can drive through Canada,
It takes a while.
or you can fly.
Right.
And it's just like I think it's expensive for one. It's all, and then it's a long time. So our closest flight out of Alaska is Seattle, 3.5 hours.
Wow.
So most of us have to always stop in Seattle to continue our journey wherever we're going.
Right.
And so it's just like a lot of time and yeah, but you can drive and that's just an extremely long road trip. Like
Yeah.
I don't it's a lot of hours even before you get to Canada here. And I'm not even gonna say the wrong information, but I
Right.
don't know.
Right. Right.
It's a lot.
You never done
You can
the
drive like
right.
24 hours in Alaska and still be in the same state.
Really? Is it that big? Damn.
Yes. It's huge. It
Wow.
is crazy. Yes, you got to check out the geography. It's wild.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. But aren't you also guys really close to Russia? Like you can just take a boat
I
over?
could see it from my window.
Really? Damn.
No, I'm just
Right,
kidding. No, it is really close though. I
right,
think it
right.
is. Yeah,
But that would have been cool, man, if you could actually see it. I guess
I know, right?
at one point. But yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
part of the world, like Alaska and also obviously Canada, but like the North America, it's stunning, man. Like I have
Mhm.
some people I know, like in I think it's called British Columbia, like in Canada, and
Mhm.
it looks stunning, you know. And I'm sure Alaska looks stunning also.
It's beautiful here. Like I have no plans to leave. This is where I'm tied to, and it's winter right now, and
Mm.
so it's cold and dark, and I don't know. Every season, it's like it feels a little different. Comes at you, you know. It's a different age, different mindset, but this time around, I feel very welcoming of the snow, and I'm gonna go ice skating later. So
Cool,
out on the out on the lagoon. So yeah,
awesome, man.
just gotta enjoy it while it's
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, because I'm from Sweden originally before I moved to the UK, but
Hmm.
we were also able to like go ice skating on the frozen lakes or part of the sea a bit.
Yes,
But you cannot do that here
and
in the UK,
ski.
unfortunately. But yeah, it's yeah, exactly
Yeah.
ski.
Yes.
So those are really cool things to do, man. But how cold does it get?
Yeah.
Like at the coldest point?
Well, I don't know the translation, but yesterday it was 1 degree Celsius, so
Or you mean Fahrenheit?
or Fahrenheit. So whatever the translation is of that, I don't know. It's freezing now.
Yeah, I bet it's cold. I don't really know what it is, but I'm sure it's pretty cold. You gotta pack up
It
tight.
was like negative 5 the other day to -1.
Wow, that's cold, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't
How
handle
is
it.
it? How cold is it where you are?
I mean, here in the UK, the coldest it gets, maybe minus, like talking Celsius, like also -1, -2, maybe.
Okay,
Uh,
this says that 1 degree Fahrenheit is 18
wow,
Celsius.
wow,
Oh,
wow.
-18,
Yeah,
negative
yeah.
18. Yeah,
That's super cold.
it is, huh?
That's terrible. I couldn't handle that. But so, I mean, how, like being a songwriter and artist like yourself, is it hard to sustain that career in, like, because you said I want to live in Alaska, which I
Mhm.
think is awesome. There's no like
Yeah,
pressure to move to LA, New York, or even Seattle, let's say.
there's huge pressure, and
Right.
so many artists here do that.
Hmm.
Um, and it's like it sucks because I mean, we want to build like a community, where we are with beautiful like artists and creators and things like that. And then they do this, and then they get to a certain point, and it's like kind of like, well, they have to go if they want to continue. And so a lot of people, artists, end up going to Seattle, Portland,
Hmm.
LA, New York, and then we lose people. But I think anywhere you're at, the scene just fluctuates and stuff. Um, I think like lately with the pandemic, we've had a lot of venues and stuff shut down,
Right. Yeah.
and we didn't even have a lot of venues in the first place. So anyone that we did lose is like kind of a major hit.
Hmm.
And um, so I think like our scene right now is kind of like trying to rebuild itself and find other places besides bars, maybe more all ages venues and things, or maybe places that aren't venues that want to kind of like go in that direction,
Hmm.
trying to kind of rebuild our scene and stuff. But yeah, it sucks because you'll talk to a lot of artists here and they'll all have a plan to get out.
Right.
And I used to feel that way. I used to think that. I used to be like, well, if I want to do anything, I got to get out of here. And um, I'm so glad I don't feel that way anymore
Hmm.
because all my family is here, and I don't really think it's about where you're at. I think it's who you're with,
Yeah.
and especially with music because we know we're just gonna tour it, and it's all yeah. I just feel like when it's time to work, you go work, and when it's time to be home, you home.
Yeah. No, I love
Yeah,
that mindset. To be honest, definitely, and hopefully, yeah, you're gonna be able to stay where you are and grow the community where you're at. That's really
yeah,
valuable. Definitely.
yeah.
But so like in Alaska, what would be like? Maybe you already play there. I don't know, but is it like a dream venue, like a huge, which is like a significant place to play
Of
at? In
course.
yeah,
There's a performing arts center here,
right.
and yeah, and so I've seen some really great acts there, and I've done like plays there, and I've actually, sang on that stage, but or one of them, there's many, but yeah, I'd love to do kind of like something there. Um,
What's it called? The place does it have a name?
it's called the Performing Arts Center.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, I saw Chris Smither there, you know him?
No,
No? Oh, he was big, but seen a couple really great acts there, so
who is he then? Maybe I should know him.
he's singer songwriter, guitar player. He kind of always like stomps with his foot, and he's got that one song about. Sorry, he's got a million songs, but he's got that song about the fruit cart guy. Like
Right.
I don't know. I'm doing a horrible job explaining it, but once you hear it now in real life, you'll be like, oh, that's that song.
Right, right, right. I'll check it out. What was his name again? Chris Smither? Was that it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. I'll need to check it out. Maybe I know him. Hopefully I
He's
do.
been around a while. He's like older and like I don't even know if he plays shows anymore now, but yeah,
Right, right, right. I'll check it out, man. Maybe hopefully
yeah,
I do know his stuff.
that would
Or
be
if not,
cool. Yeah,
I'll learn something new.
yeah.
That's always good. But so I'm very interested, and I'd love to ask you if it's okay with you, because I know you came out as a transgender, uh, and that whole process. And if you're comfortable talking about that, um, when 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 did that start for you? Like when did you realize, oh, I want to go through this journey? Um, And yeah, if that makes sense, and if it's okay for me to ask you that.
I when did I realize? I don't know. Honestly, the whole thing was a big evolution, and there was no specific day or moment that like I just had all of my answers figured out. You know,
Hmm.
and I think that that's the case for a lot of LGBTQ plus people. Is that people often want from us the day or the answer
Right.
or the verbiage for whatever it is going on. And the truth is that it's such a long like growth process and evolution that you know I don't have all the answers, and I think it's still a learning process. I learn more about myself every day,
Hmm.
and yeah, so I think it's important to know that too, that if you like are experiencing any feelings about like being queer or you know gender things, that you don't have to have all the
Hmm.
answers, you don't have to know everything about yourself, and you know just sit with things and think about things for a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really good answer, man. Thank you for. I need to rethink that actually in the future when
Thank
when I
you.
ask. Um, but
Thank you.
so what was I mean, like you said, you're still going through, like you're still living life, you're still discovering stuff, all that. But what was the initial journey? Was it maybe this is also a really stupid question, but was it difficult to start the journey? And once you're in it, it was maybe was it a relief? Was it even maybe more scary? What was that like?
Yeah, and I think everyone's experience is going to be different, but for me, I kind of always looked like this. I always had always wear these clothes, always kind of had this haircut, whatever it is. And so it wasn't much to be just like a surprise of people,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Hmm.
I know there's tons of people out there that have some pretty drastic transformations, but yeah, for me it was very just kind of underwhelming.
Maybe that's good,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Um, but I mean, is it like going through the physical change? It also does. Is that a complicated process, or is it how like I don't know anything about this, and I'm really curious. Is it
Yeah.
how is that like?
So I would say it didn't have much to do with me. It was the differences I noticed was about, how everyone else treated me and perceived me, you know, after my voice changed or, that whatever it is, I was still the same.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I was just kind of uh, being treated differently, being treated better, I would say. But yeah, that's kind of what the song Erase Me is about, just kind of how society treated me differently after, perceiving me differently. And I wrote that song, a few years ago now. And so um, my feelings even have evolved since then. But yeah, um,
Was it
didn't really have much to do with me.
right? Was it the case? Like, did you, if I read this correctly, if I remember it correctly, was it that your grandma had a lot of influence also on you to take this positive step, so to speak?
No,
Right. Maybe I misread that.
no, she didn't have anything to do with that. Um, I think I had a song about her like prior,
Right.
but yeah, that was unrelated.
Right. Thanks for correcting me.
Mhm.
um, but so I mean, is there a lot of like because there's been like a few times, like here in the UK, like news reports or whatever, on like uh, how minors, like very young kids, are able to say, "Hey, I want to be a man, I want to be a woman, whatever you want to do," um, but then later regretting it, and then it's really complicated to like reverse your decision. Um, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, is that an issue in the US, in Alaska even, or is something you've heard about?
Yeah, I mean, I think the subject is so complex, and I think like blanket statements like that aren't very helpful. Like, oh, they did this and then regretted it later. Like, I don't know like where those um, numbers are coming from, but
Mm-hmm.
that feels like something that maybe happens like a very little amount, and we hear about it more.
Right, right.
I don't. I mean, I'm like I can't speak to that, but yeah. I mean, as far as kids goes, I mean, I don't know. Just raise your kids. I mean, if yeah, that's I don't have kids,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't really speak to that. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess it can be complicated, definitely, especially if you're really young and you say you want to do this and you can, and maybe you regret it. It's just something that can be quite awful to experience, I guess. Um,
Yeah, but like I said earlier, it's about exploring things and options and ideas and that sort of stuff. We don't like wake up one day and say I'm trans. I'm gonna do all this stuff
mhm.
tomorrow. Like you might like, oh, I want to like wear some boys' clothes or some girls' clothes. You know, why not? Do I think if I give like my kid some different clothes that they're gonna want to go and get like surgery the next day?
Mhm.
It's not that deep. It's really not.
No, no.
Like our job is just to grow the kids, and that's it.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I don't think that would ever be. I mean, obviously there are people scared about that, where if you give your kid, if it's a boy, whatever, and you give him girl clothes, what's gonna happen? I mean, obviously there are people who have that fear, which yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, that
Yeah.
that's okay for them, I guess. I mean, that's who they are, but um, I don't think, yeah, like you said, it's not that deep, I guess, if that's the correct
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's not that deep, like aren't we kind of at a time where girls can play with tractors and boys can paint their nails? Like we don't even care at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look at Kirk Hammett. I mean, he's a man, I guess, and he has painted his nails
Yeah,
forever. you know,
exactly. Yeah.
that's heavy metal.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but did you see like Dave Chappelle's special? Like he has had a few of them, and apparently, I mean, I don't really know what's going on. Just keep hearing about it, where he's saying the trans community hates him, and he's saying, or they're saying he hate them, I guess. Have you paid attention to that at all?
I didn't see the special. I did see the I guess controversy around it. Honestly, I don't even think of that stuff.
Right, right,
I
right.
don't think about that. Uh, I don't know. It seems like just an argument like for other people to have.
Hmm.
I'm I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's good, man. I'm really glad to hear. Uh,
Yeah.
and it also sounds like your family has always been supportive, which is awesome. If I understand it
Hmm.
correctly, I mean I might be totally wrong, but that's
Yeah.
the feeling I'm getting. Yeah,
No, you're right.
yeah, yeah.
You're right.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I'm glad it's working out. The music is going well. You have a new EP coming out. It's coming out in December. Is that it?
Yeah. December 10th.
Awesome, and that's on all platforms, I guess.
Yes, everywhere.
Can you buy vinyl? Can you buy anything? Merch?
Vinyl, no, not for the EP, but for the record
Mm.
coming soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's an EP, of course. I didn't think so that far ahead.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool, man. So is the
yeah.
album done, or that's going to be a collection of the previous EPs, or
The album is done. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Awesome, and that's coming out next year, I guess, then, or
yeah.
is it secretive?
I don't know if I can say
Right, right,
the drop.
right, right.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
we'll focus on the EP for
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. No, awesome, man. I mean, Quinn, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully, I can discover Alaska. Hopefully, you can come back to London, the UK. Uh,
Of
and
course.
yeah, thank you for sharing and being so open and all that.
Thank you for asking questions and you know taking your time too.
Awesome, man. Let's say goodbye to the live stream. It's ending. Peace
Bye.
out. Awesome, man. Let me stop.